So today I'm going to do a performance test. A lot of you have asked for this in regards to my Samsung G7 Odyssey 32-inch screens, triple setup. I have a 3090, a Geforce RTX3090, and I want to kind of like show the type of FPS that I get in ACC. I might do also iRacing, let's see. Probably iRacing as well. But I want to do a few tests. One, my current setup in ACC. So I have a specific setup that works for me. I get usually around 80 FPS, I think, if 80, 90 depends, sometimes 70. So I have a specific setup. I also want to try Epic settings and see the type of FPS that I'm getting. And also the lower end to see how much I can squeeze out of these out of that card for these screens that go up to 240 Hertz. I doubt that I'm gonna achieve 240 Hertz on ACC, but who knows, maybe on iRacing. I'll do the same thing on iRacing, and after that I want to lower the resolution. These are 2K screens, so 1440p. I want to lower the resolution to 1080p Full HD and see if I notice any difference in terms of quality of pixel density and all of that stuff, and what kind of differences do I get in terms of FPS. So yeah, let's go, let's do the test. Alright, so for those who might not have the patience to watch this whole video, I'm just going to quickly give you the summary of it all. The difference between 1080p and 1440p with the RTX 3090 with triple screens, it has been insignificant for me in terms of performance. So the difference is around 10 FPS tested in ACC, 20 cars on track on Silverstone normal track conditions. The difference was around 10 FPS. In terms of visual difference, yes, it does make a difference. Everything in the distance, all of the stuff in the distance, all of the objects in the distance, cars, fences, signs, everything, you see it a bit more pixelated than normally. The interior, the car interior and such, things that are objects that are closer, even cars that are just in front of you, it's fine. It's not a huge difference. It is playable, but if you would ask me, would you drop to 1080p on your 1440p screens, the Triple Odyssey? No, I wouldn't. The 10 FPS difference is minimal. I was getting with 1440p in Epic settings an average of 80 frames, high 70 to 80 on that specific setup, and that for me is decent enough, including taking into consideration the G-Sync and all of that stuff. It just doesn't feel laggy, or it doesn't feel that you're missing anything, to be honest. And yes, you do get a bit of a difference. You do feel tiny bit the difference when you're at something like 100 FPS, but is it worth it to get, if you have a RTX 3090, is it worth it getting 1080p to squeeze extra performance? I would say no. I would say 1440p is good. So yeah, that's my long, short summary. You can watch the rest of the video. Alright, so here we are in ACC at Silverstone. Let me show you my settings, my current settings. Oh, let's go to options, video. So we have the full resolution, VSync disabled, frame limit off, triple screen enabled, HDR output enabled, resolution scale 100, view distance epic, shadows high, shadows distance epic, anti-aliasing, I can never say that word, epic, temporal effects high, post-processing high, foliage low. I usually don't I don't mind that. I don't like that much. Temperature mid, mirror view distance 250 meters. Then mirror quality epic. That's one of the things that I care a lot. Mirror seeing everything around the mirrors in high quality. Mirror frame limiting 60 FPS. Opponent visibility 20. And then materials quality epic. Temporal upsampling enabled. Bloom quality epic. Volumetric fog low. Foliage LOD quality low. Car LOD quality 100, H-load enable, and advanced sharpening enabled. And then here, these are HDR settings that I talked about previously. So yeah, so that's what works for me. That's what looks super nice and gives me the right level of FPS with this 3090. All right, so out of the bat, I'm getting 8990 FPS. Whoop, I'm not in the game. Okay, so yeah, so I have 20 cars on the track. Whoa, that's a bit loud. Right, hopefully you can still hear me. So I have 20 cars on track. Silverstone, ACC, getting around 80 FPS. Let's see what we can get. 75. I chose the on my GoPro Hero 9. I'm actually using the linear lens with stabilization because I kind of want you to see a bit of the quality. Filming at 4K. Hopefully the quality comes across a bit. Whoops. Okay, screwed it up there. That's fine. We're not actually really racing. Okay, so now with no cars, I'm getting around 90 FPS. 100 FPS. All alone on the track. So I think at the very start of the race, you were gonna get lower FPS. I'm getting over 105 now, if you can see there in the corner where we have all of the information. Can I catch up to those guys? Let's see. Temperature of the GPU is low, 70 degrees now. I'm also using a lot of fans here in the room, and I usually keep the door open. But yeah, at the beginning of the race I was getting 75, 80, and now when I'm all alone on the track, around 95. Okay, what do we get now? High 80s. Yeah, so high 80, an average of 90. Here. 85. Yeah, so I'm not seeing dropping too much. It stays usually between 85 and 90 when I'm surrounded by cars, which is pretty good. I'm now 94. 87 here. I have cars in front and behind. Okay, let's see if we can pause. Okay, and let's go to view setting. No. Let's go to options. video we'll change to epic, and let's see how our FPS does. Okay, and the menu is still, it's around 80, but let's see how we do on track. Okay. Okay, it dropped at 78, high 80s. Sorry, not high 80, high 70s, and yeah, so I'm 85 now, 84. So that didn't affect that much, which is surprising. 79 now. As I mentioned, this is a so now I'm on 70s. This is a 20 car AI race. So mid race, as you can see, this is happening in mid race. I'm around 70. I'm driving like crap because I have my GoPro right in the middle of my eyesight right now to get a best shot. Yeah, so low 70, high 70 to 80, yeah, which is interesting. Okay, we'll finish as well, and what we'll do is we'll start from scratch with epic and see at the grid start where we are in terms of FPS. So we're now 80. Yeah, so with my settings, the average, yeah, so with my settings, the average in that race was 90-ish, high 80, low 90s, and with the epic settings, we were at low 80, high 70, so an average of 80 or such. All right, let's restart and let's see what we do on the basically on the start, very start in terms of FPS. So FPS is at, it just jumps a bit. Let's see. So on the grid I'm at 70. Yeah, so I think the average is 70. 70, 60, I dropped to 60, yeah. 65. So this is with epic settings again. Let's see. 69. Let's see. 67. This is at the very start of the race when it's very crowded. However, to be honest, I'm not feeling I'm not feeling the drop in FPS that much from like 90 to 70 here. So yeah, so I think now is gonna start normalizing at one point in the race. We're at 76. Let's do one lap and see how we're doing. Yeah, I think the average at the beginning of the race is sorry bud, sorry. I didn't spawn you, that's fine. You're all good. So we're at, yeah, and now we're increasing, which I assume the the more the pack spreads, the more FPS we're gonna get. But I would say the average would be, I think 70 would be too low to say that the average of FPS with Epic. I would actually call it, on this specific track, more like high 70s. Yeah, there you go, 70s, 75. And the quality is pretty good now. It does seem to decrease in Epic, which I don't like. Decrease the it does seem to decrease the quality of the mirrors, which I don't really like. Okay, so let's restart. Okay, we'll restart, and let's go to options. We'll go the lowest possible and see what kind of visual we get and what kind of FPS we get. Okay, so seems like things are a bit more blur, but on the grid I'm having 130 FPS. This is the low quality, which is kind of like potato level. I can't say I'm enjoying this. $125 FPS. Getting 140. Okay, 150. Interesting. But who would want to play like this? I would rather have it at, you know, 90, high 80, low 90. Yeah, maybe you can feel a bit the FPS difference, but I mean, I feel that the game is too early 2000s in terms of graphics with the low graphics. So yeah, definitely you're not going to be able to achieve 240 hertz, 240 FPS with this bit distracted here with the race. Definitely not 240 hertz with the 3090, 240 FPS with the 3090 in even low in ACC. So forget about it. You're not gonna get that. I am getting around 150 FPS now. But again, I don't know if it comes across from the video. I hope it does. The quality is pretty meh. Okay, so let's finish this lap. Alright, finish the lap. Alright, cool. So I got it up to 150 FPS in these quality settings. But again, nothing to be pleased of, to be honest. Okay, so I changed the resolution to 1080p, as you can probably see there. So let's see if we can see any difference in Assetto Corsa Competizione. I think I'm gonna do Assetto Corsa Competizione for this time, and you know, if anyone wants iRacing, I'm gonna do iRacing as well. But I think the flagship and the kind of like the reference point here is ACC, because this is the one that's you know, has the most challenges, to put it like that, in terms of graphical power. So let me just turn the audio down a bit, because I can't hear, you probably can't hear me that well. Okay, so what just happened there? Why did it went off? Okay, so out of the bat with this resolution, I'm running at almost full FPS in the menu. Let's look at why it keeps on exiting the game. What? That's no good. Okay, so I managed to figure out what was going on. It was that because the resolution was higher in the game, hitting apply was not doing anything. It was just going back to the outside the game. So what you have to do is, once you change this resolution to lower over here, from the arrow, just hit enter key, and that will show a pop-up. If you want to change the resolution, you say yes, and then everything goes back to normal, working properly. Okay, so I've selected custom in here, and which is my profile, and we're going to go on Trak now with full HD instead of 2K, and see how things are looking. Now I have the GoPro in front of me, so I might lift the GoPro slightly to see how things are presenting on the screen, because I want to see the pixel ratio and all that stuff. Okay, I have a screen that's not entered in HDR. Let me just refresh. HDR. Okay, so I'm getting around 100 FPS, 130 FPS actually. Let's start the race. Do I see a difference? Good question. Yeah, I can definitely see a difference in resolution in the cars, in the distance, and the buildings and such. But do I see a difference in the dash and such? I mean, I wouldn't say so. Not that much, at least. But surprising, the FPS have dropped significantly, so I mean, they're not as expected, so this is maybe 10 or 20 FPS difference from when I was running my custom profile with a 1440p, which is surprising. I think at this stage of the race I was at 80 something. So there's maybe a difference of 20 FPS increase. So it's not monstrous. Look, here I'm getting 84, surrounded by car, 90. It's also jumping a bit more in terms of frames and stuff. If I look at the screen, yeah, you can definitely see the difference in the distance. And even the clock, this clock on the side here, it looks a bit more pixelated when it's changing the numbers and stuff. But on the dashboard, to be honest, it's not a crazy difference, I would say. It's not a crazy. Yes, you definitely can see a bit of pixelation. The most challenging is the cars. The closer the car it gets, like, the better it looks, but the cars in the distance, they look a bit crap. And the buildings and everything else, yeah. So when you look, let me just check. Yeah, even the track, the markers, let me look at some of these markers on the side here. Yeah, coming from 1440, you can definitely see a difference, but would I say that is unplayable? 100%, I wouldn't say that. It is playable. It is 100% playable. And with these settings that I have, you'll have the visual quality there. Pixels are a bit meh, but again, in the car it's not that crazy difference, that crazy bad and such, as I was expecting when I was reading and watching reviews of, oh, if you have 32-inch, you should have the screen a lot more further away because of resolution, lower resolution and stuff. I would say it's not like, I mean, yes, the cars in the distance are looking a bit crappy, but it's 100% playable. Wow, that's some drifting right there. That was some proper drifting. Yeah, in terms of FPS, probably 15 to 20 more that I was having with the 1440p at this profile that I'm currently having. I probably need to watch back as well. So for example, now I'm getting 100 FPS, while with my profile I was getting low 90s to high 80s. So maybe not even 20 FPS, maybe like 10 to 15 FPS maximum. So if you're concerned of the resolution and such, I don't know what to say. Maybe it's not such a tragedy. I don't know. 1080p doesn't look extremely bad, but to be honest, the performance gains don't seem there that much. So like, I don't know. Now there's another thing that could potentially be happening. What I hear is that the 3090 is quite good for 8K gaming and all of this stuff. It is possible, and I've seen that for 8K gaming, 4K, 8K gaming, 1440p, the 3090 performs better than it would perform. The difference in performance when it comes to 1080p. So the difference in performance between, oddly enough, the difference in performance for the 3090 between 1080p and 1440p is not that big. At least that's what I've seen from all sorts of reviewers and stuff like that. Get this guy here. So it is possible that the reason why I'm not seeing a huge difference, like a huge jump, and only like 10 FPS is because the 3090 performs better the higher the resolution is. So basically having 3 2K monitors, the 3090 might find it more, what are you doing, dude? Find it more suitable than, I don't know, the 3 monitors at 2080p, because it's made for high pixels gaming, to put it like that. I don't know, I'm just I'm just talking here, might be talking rubbish, but yeah, you can definitely see a difference. Okay, let me stop here. You can definitely see a difference in quality. Not so much on the dashboard, the pillars, the mirrors, all of that. Not that much. It's not like crazy difference. But where you can see the difference is in the distance, like these pillars here. You can see them a bit pixelated. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can probably see it. All of this stuff is a bit more pixelated than normally. All right, so let's restart. We'll do epic mode. Let's do epic. I don't know how much battery I have in this GoPro left, but we'll try to do quickly epic and see how that stacks up. Did I even save it? I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Yeah, apply. Yes, it's saved. Okay, let's start the race. Okay. Seems like high 80 frames. Alright, so yeah, I'm getting, I don't know, maybe 10 or less frames on epic. No, not even 10, probably 5 or something like that. If we go into replay mode. Okay, so you're probably going to notice the car there, it's already starting to get a bit pixelated. The rims are there, you can see the pixels in there. The car further ahead even more. This one not so much in front of you. This one again not so much. But everything that's in the distance, it's pixelated. And then the stand over there with the folks gets pixelated. And for the frames, I mean, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's worth it. I feel like if you have a 3090, get 1440p screens. I feel that's, you know, it's a no-brainer. The difference in performance is almost insignificant. So, yeah, I'd say that's kind of it. That's kind of my assessment of it. So yeah, I'm gonna close it here. I might do iRacing at one point, but just take this as a reference. This is basically, you know, the staple. This is the crisis of sim racing, so you know that you'll get things a lot better with iRacing. But yeah, if there's a request, I'll do an iRacing. So yeah, thanks for watching.